Shapiro knows he can't censor me, and he can't really explicitly call for me to be censored. And same goes for Tucker and Candace. They lost that battle. Tucker, Candace, and me, we're all free. They're free from Fox and Daily Wire. We're all back on the platforms. They're on YouTube. I'm on Rumble. So they can't rug pull us like they could 5 years ago, let's say. Shapiro says, well, I don't want them to be banned, but everyone should blacklist them. Because if you can't take away the megaphone, you can take away the respectability and the legitimacy. Because if they can't shrink the audience, they want the message to the broader conservative movement to be, we will delegitimize you if you embrace Nick, Tucker, and Candace. And then everybody else will be put on notice to stop it from becoming a contagion. Shapiro's going around publicly and privately saying you have to prevent this from spreading. Everyone needs to know that if you embrace Nick, Tucker, and Candace, then you're on the outs. Because they need to keep everybody in line. And by the way, you want to understand my appeal? Why am I winning the youth? Because of cucks like you. Because of weak, feckless, idiot boomers like you. You want to know where the anger comes from the young people? It's from seeing the older generations. It's from seeing white men, white boomers like you and Eric Erickson and Matt Walsh and all of you crawl on your bellies like worms for these foreign interlopers. For the feminists, for Israel First, for the Jewish lobby, for all of it. And we're sick of it. It's your job actually to lead. It's your job to protect us. It's actually your job to be a custodian and a vanguard for our civilization, and you let us all down. We are a bunch of suckers. White people are a bunch of suckers.
You know, right here, Nick nailed it. I feel like he just nailed this right here. They don't get it. Nick just basically said the youth is creeping up behind, and they're going to start setting the momentum and the rhetoric for our nation's future and for the course it's going to take. And with momentum and speeches like this and talking like this and influence like this, it's just a matter of time before Nick is the president of social media and the internet. His voice may be very, very strong in the future to come. I'm not sure. Hats off to you, Nick. You're all right. Dude ain't playing games. He's taking names.
These people are eating our lunch, and they're not playing games. They're deadly serious. They know what they're about. Josh Hammer says Europeans have Jew hatred in their DNA. Is anybody calling for him to be canceled? No. Are the Jewish lobby, are they calling for him to make a good faith apology for the fucked up things he said? No. They circle the wagons around their own because they know the goal is to make Israel and the Jewish nation as strong as possible, and they're all on the same page. What a joke. What a pathetic excuse for a movement we have. I didn't even intend to get all fired up like this, but somebody needs to say it. The younger generation gets up and says, we will not tolerate this. We won't take it anymore. We're not going to be tone policed. We're not going to be guilt tripped, emotionally blackmailed. We're not going to be suckered into apologizing to people that hate us. And what do they want to do? They say, I'm the problem. I'm misleading the young men. They say, Nick is messing with the young men. He's taking advantage of disillusioned young men. I'm leading them. If there were leaders, there'd be no need for me. You're not a leader. That's the difference. Leaders are supposed to be strong. You're weak. That's the difference. They say, he's taking advantage of disillusioned, disaffected, lost young men. No, I'm leading them. I'm standing up to the bullies. I'm standing up to the Jewish lobby that fucking hates them and wants them to die in Iran right now. Where were you? You got 40 years on me. And you've been on this planet 20, 30, 40 years longer than me. Where were you? I'm the dad that stepped up. I'm the leader that reluctantly stepped up. And because I'm the only one apparently that sees through this and is willing to be called a monster, I guess. And have everybody, nitpick everything I say all the time.
The more we listen to Nick talk, the more we like him. This guy has an infectious personality, and the more he speaks, the more we're paying attention. King of the internet.
This isn't a game. This is a coordinated attack. That's what this is. This is why we never apologize. This is why we never play these games. Because we are in a war. We are not on the same side. Do not kid yourself. These people that put Israel first, they are deadly serious. They keep the frame. They're not friendly. They're not mirroring your body language. They're not mirroring your language. They're not trying to appeal to you. They're not trying to meet you where you are. They're not empathetic or sympathetic. These people are not our friends. They're not our allies. We cannot work with them. If you're an Israel first, psycho, lunatic Jew that is hysterical and paranoid, you think you're living in the Fourth Reich, you are not friends with us. You're not America first. You're not even Christian. So we're not on the same team. We're actually set against each other. And when you're set against an enemy and they know exactly what they're about and they're serious and they're fighting you and they're trying to defeat or submit you, you don't apologize to people like that. You don't show them that your hand is empty. You don't show them that you're unarmed so that they can cut you and stab you. You don't say, hi, Ben Shapiro, I'm sorry. All you're going to get is cut. All you're going to get is stabbed, metaphorically speaking, when you try to embrace an enemy like that. And that's exactly what happened here. So let this be a lesson. For all those people that think this is a great big misunderstanding, for all these people that think we can deal in good faith with these people, with these psycho Zionists, Israel First lobby, you show how weak you are, you submit, you get punished, you get slapped. They hold your head up by your hair like a scalp, a defeated enemy, and they say, look at our prison bitch.
He gets a little radical, let's be realistic. But we cannot deny how clever of an individual he is. He knows how to put these words together very well and get his message across.
I forget even what I was talking about, but we're going to move on. We're going to get into the news for the night. And further on this subject, we're going to talk specifically about Megyn Kelly and Ben Shapiro, their interview. And so yesterday, Megyn Kelly interviewed Tucker Carlson. And she pressed Tucker. She said, why didn't you ask Nick Fuentes about these vile things that he said? And then today she interviewed Ben Shapiro. And do you know how she started the interview? She started her interview with Ben Shapiro by playing a clip of me playing Grand Theft Auto from my gaming stream 7 years ago, where I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, and in the game, I'm driving around, I run over a Jewish NPC and say, haha, I think I just hit Ben Shapiro. I'm not making this up. Does that sound crazy? That's exactly what happened today. Megyn Kelly introduces a subject. She goes, I'd like to talk to you, Ben, about Nick Fuentes and Tucker, but first, I'd like to show the audience this clip where Nick Fuentes is playing Grand Theft Auto, and he runs over a character who appears Jewish and says, that was Ben Shapiro, and then they play like a 3-minute clip from a 7-year-old stream where I'm giggling and saying, ha, 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 I think I just ran over Ben Shapiro, ha, ha, ha. And then everybody boos. Then the audience goes, boo. They go, boo, boo.
Okay, we've all said ridiculous things playing video games. Let's be realistic. Who hasn't? You know, have you ever went online? I think we all have. I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but we all go online at times to play video games. The verbatim and the rhetoric in there, I'll tell you something right now. Mute. Ben Shapiro, I'm sorry, bro. You're reaching. Megyn Kelly. By trying to make fun of Nick Fuentes and make him seem like a bad guy for his video game jokes, you just set this guy up for Ultimate League. You people are not as intelligent as you think, obviously. He's playing you against your own game, and he's crushing you like a bug.
Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. You people cheer for genocide in real life. We have reached, by the way, the pinnacle of fake outrage. Talk about fake outrage. I can't wait for my Megyn Kelly interview. You've called Jewish people fat pigs, slobs, disgusting animals. Only Ben Shapiro. In fairness, it was more than Ben Shapiro. We have reached the pinnacle of fake outrage.
He's so right. He's so correct. We have reached the pinnacle of outrage. People being so over-dramatic and being melodramatic, passive-aggressive, this whole nature and this whole character of people, I don't know if it was designed and created by the internet, social media, or the access to so much information from our internet abilities. It's deep. But this generation, it's bizarre. And even on the news, it's out of reach almost. It's out of touch. It doesn't even seem realistic, some of the things they're reporting. It seems so one-sided. We seem like we're being victimized almost. And that's why we watch Nick. He's blowing up like a Pop-Tart. He's coming off the top. He ain't messing around. So I guess we're all gonna start tuning into Nick. Not even if you agree with him, but just to hear what he has to say next. He's very controversial, but yet, he's got some valid points. And the more he speaks, the more I wish he was my little brother. Let's do this, Nick.
So let me get this straight, Megyn. Megyn with a Y. Let's get this straight, Megyn. There's a genocide going on right now in Gaza. People are being shot in the back of the head. Starving, hungry people on the brink of death are traveling miles by foot in a war-torn area to get food. They're shot in the back of the head. Children are being shot in the head. Prisoners of war are being raped to death. Refugee camps, evacuation zones are being bombed directly, civilians murdered. You're showing a clip of a video game? We have reached the pinnacle of ridiculousness. And if you think that this is helping you, Megyn Kelly, you think this is helping your cause? Think about the problem that they have on their hands. They say millions and millions of young men are following Nick Fuentes. How do we get them to stop? Oh, I know. We're gonna get a blonde mom. We're gonna get a rich white woman. We're going to get an affluent blonde white woman to concern troll about a video game. He was playing this video game and he killed this character in his video game. You think that's going to get everybody back on board? That's the recipe for winning back the young guys? 15-year-old young guys are going to watch that and say, oh my gosh, I love Nick Fuentes, but then I saw that. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
You people are catapulting Nick Fuentes to absolute domination of the internet. It's going to be a matter of time for where this guy is everywhere. You don't even know how to play the game. We're watching him play it like a master class. He's playing chess and you're playing checkers. This guy is looking you in the eye and making fun of you to your face, and you're agreeing with him, and you're only catapulting him to the next level. Nick, you are a clever fella. Young man, hats off, not gonna hate. How could you? These people are playing right into your hand. Amazing.
Men deal in reality. Men deal with the muck and the scum and the chaos of the world. It's men in the sewers. It's men at the construction sites. It's men at the trap houses. It's men that are cops at war. It's men in politics and in business. It's men. that make the world go round. And so men, we don't have time actually for this kind of nonsense that we get from women where they say, is that appropriate? Do you really think that's appropriate? That's offensive. That's going to hurt someone's feelings. Men are not being allowed to be men, not legally, not socially. We have women our entire lives telling us that's inappropriate. That's not okay. The moms, the school teachers, the college professors, and then eventually the girlfriends and the wives. This is what happens. And people say, the women retort and they say, really? Is being a man playing video games and making jokes? Yeah, it is actually. Being a man is not letting women tell us that's not appropriate. That's what it is to be a man, actually. Being a man is actually living outside of a human resources controlled environment. So yeah, it is actually. This is what I'm saying. It's like they in the conservative intelligentsia are telling everybody, we have a problem, red alert. The young people love Nick Fuentes. That's a symptom of a deeper problem. What's the solution? Let's have a bunch of women and Jews get in their face, pointing their fingers in their face. Hey, listen, you anti-Semitic, misogynistic boys, that's not appropriate. And young guys are supposed to be like, okay, you're right. You're right, Megan. You're right, Ben. We're sorry. It's not funny. Saying the N-word isn't funny. Nick Fuentes isn't funny. You're right. We should just be nice and sensitive again. We should die for Israel. You're right. They're playing it all wrong. It just goes to show they still don't get it. And I don't know if Tucker was sincere when he said that he was trying to listen, or if that was like a roundabout way of he was trying to put a demonstration on. This is what's wrong with the youth. But I hope someone was actually listening, because I speak for the people when I was talking about all of it, when I was talking about Jewish identity and the women. And here they are together. Megyn Kelly and Ben Shapiro are going to get together and cry about a Grand Theft Auto clip. Seriously? Is that what you think is going to win everybody back? They play that as if to say like, oh, now that you see who he really is, now you're not going to like him. That was a clip you chose? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Right there. Anybody that's young that saw Nick say that, it's over. They're on his team. They're pro-Nick. Nick for president. Nick's the man. Nick's going to run the Senate. Nick's going to be the big boss of the internet. Basically, it's almost as maybe he should be the big boss of the internet. He seems to be taking it over, and he seems to be the one with the most steam. Maybe if he just toned it down a little bit, I don't know, but at the same time, he's making a valid point to the youth, to the young people. They're sick of this crap. They're sick of seeing these politicians run around here and talk a bunch of smack and look like old reptilians. I'm sick of it. They suck. It's annoying. So I can only understand why Nick is getting so much popularity and so much gaining so much momentum. I feel the same way. I really do. Reporting the news and watching all this nonsense all the time. I mean, what do you think is really going on out there?
It's a coordinated attack to snuff out any criticism of Israel. And Randy Fine wants everybody to be canceled. Randy Fine says Tucker is not MAGA. Nobody's MAGA except for Israel. And Brett Cooper says, you know what, Randy Fine, I think he'd be happier in Israel. And oh boy, did she do it when she said that. The clip went viral. Everybody was talking about it. It blew up. It got millions of impressions. She said, Randy Fine, you'd be happier in Israel. Ooh, you're not allowed to talk like that.
And here's another moment where Nick is using a situation to be the catalyst for his momentum. Even though he doesn't support this girl as a friend, he doesn't like what she has to say, he's still going to bat for her, still trying to protect her message. And this is exactly a masterclass in how you get a movement to be recognized. This man is very clever. Pay attention to what he has to say.
Nobody had a problem with her all year. until she criticized Randy Fine. And how did she criticize Randy Fine? She said, I think he's loyal to Israel. Well, he is, by his own admission. He would say that loudly and proudly at the Republican Jewish Coalition this weekend. But if Brett Cooper says it in a standoffish way, you know, man, you'd be happier in Israel. Well, now that's an anti-Semitic trope, you see. Now that's vile anti-Semitism. Vile, noxious, monstrous, truly disgusting stuff. You know, this way they all talk? Really noxious stuff. Really nasty stuff. This is how they talk. So once you say that, all bets are off, and then they go into the file. They open up the filing cabinet, they pull the Brett Cooper file, and they go, oh, here's a clip where she said something the Christians aren't going to like. Boom, here's her talking about how she practiced witchcraft. And what, we're all now supposed to not like her? Oh, I liked Brett Cooper and this clip. Oh, but the witchcraft thing? Oh, well, she needs to disavow that. Oh, well, she's not so good. Do you see the anatomy of a political attack? You see how they operate? And, you know, I've said some nasty things about Brett Cooper, and I feel a little bad about that. She seems like a nice girl, actually. She's like a theater kid, you know, but she seems like a nice kid. And as much as I might rage at her for her cowboy wedding, I will defend her in this instance to the death. Not to white knight at all. But this is how it goes. And I have my differences with all these people. Brett Cooper, Candace Owens, Tucker. I have my differences with all of them. But we need to develop a better team mentality. We are a team.
It's hard not to like the guy. Like I was saying previously, every time he puts his foot in his mouth, he shoves it right back up the butt of someone we're not getting along with or someone we disagree with. He's going to bat for us. He's going to bat for a cause and a movement. This man, I don't know where his future's heading, but I'm very curious. I must admit, I think we're all curious. He has some serious facts he spits. He's very likable. And most of the time, he's valid. He is a little radical with the Jews and the African-American rhetoric, but that's on him. Freedom of speech, right? Not necessarily my cup of tea, but doesn't he have the right to say what he wants? And he's very aggressively exercising this, as we all can see. And some of us, I think, are jealous. I think some of us are captivated. As much as we want to turn away, we cannot. We have to see what this little man is going to say next.
And this is what I said last week. If you're American, we are a team. I will defend you on that basis. We can attack each other all the time, and yeah, we can make fun of each other. We can make jokes. And Candace doesn't like me, and, you know, I didn't really have a great experience with her. But if Candace is under attack by Ben Shapiro, I got her back. If Brett Cooper's under attack, I don't care what she said about witchcraft. I don't like it, but who cares? It's not a good faith attack. They pulled that out of the file because they didn't like what she said about Randy Fine, and she was right. And now all these people that had no problem with her last week, now they're training the laser on her because you're not supposed to say that. We have to defend her. We have to circle the wagons. Same with Tucker. I got my disagreements with Tucker about all of it, about the Jews and the neocons, about women, about a lot of it. And we had beef in the past, but why are they coming after him? Because he doesn't want us to go to war in Iran. He doesn't want the genocide in Gaza to continue. That's why. So we need a little bit more of a siege mentality. We are under siege. We, all of us, are under siege as Americans, first and foremost, but in particular, and people aren't going to like this, as whites and as Christians. Division, reputational destruction, character assassination, gossip, detraction. And it's evil, and it needs to be called out. These people like Shapiro and Levin and Josh Hammer, they are rubbing their hands together. They open up the file, the blackmail, the cancel material. They pull it out there and they say, we'll turn white person against white person, Christian against Christian, American against American. We'll have them fighting each other, eating each other on our behalf. And they are rubbing their hands together saying, oh, the Christians aren't going to like, oh, Brett Cooper. She's in her interview talking about how she talked to a clairvoyant. The Christians aren't going to like this. They'll cancel her for us. There's a word for this. Calumny, it's a sin. Gossip, it's a sin. Detraction, it's a sin. Are they pushing that clip around for the good of her soul? Are they pushing that clip around for the good of everybody else? Are they pushing that around deliberately to hurt her and delegitimize her because they don't like what she's saying? This is the problem with the fifth column. This is the problem with having people in this country that their interest is not the public good. It's not the good of America. Somebody said it to Ben Shapiro in a very famous comment on YouTube. They said, wait a second, I think you literally make a living off of all of us hating each other. That's literally how you make a living. That's literally how you move the ball down the field for your side. You profit from all of us hating each other.
They suck. It's annoying. So I can only understand why Nick is getting so much popularity and so much gaining so much momentum. I feel the same way. I really do. Reporting the news and watching all this nonsense all the time. I mean, what do you think is really going on out there? People are taking complete and total advantage of us, pretending they're trying to help you out by dangling a carrot in front of the donkey technique. That's real polite. That's nice of you to do. Meanwhile, people are on Capitol Hill rubbing elbows and stuffing caviar in their fat bellies. Just getting back from Monte Cristo with a golden sun beach tan. Are you serious? Every day, nonstop. On top of it, insider trading, insider information. You want to see a socialist party? Look at government. They're amongst themselves, doing whatever they want, and everything seems to be free for them already. So why would they want to pass that down to us? So is it fair to say that we may need people like Nick? We may need this man. Even though he's a little bit nasty sometimes, Nick is kicking some serious truth. He's saying things that need to be said. And these are not necessarily my views, don't get me wrong. But some of them are. And just as soon as Nick puts his foot in his mouth, he rolls out a red carpet. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments below. You think every time Nick puts his foot in his mouth and says something that's sort of annoying or a little off kilter, he comes back with a checkmate fact. And hats off to him for being able to do so. This is another example of how clever this man really is. And if he sets his sights properly and uses his influence properly, there's no telling where Nick Fuentes will end up. Hopefully, it's not in a pine box, because I can tell you right now, there is something going on here that Nick is not letting us know. You can see he's almost in fear a little bit. It seems like he is. He's well aware of the consequences and who it really is hurting. I don't know what's going down. I just know that Nick Fuentes, this young man, has a lot of momentum. He's telling facts. And one thing about Nick Fuentes that makes him stand out, I think we're all aware of this. He has no filter. He says whatever is on his mind, and it's very punctual. It's very accurate. Doesn't need to be fact-checked, because it's pretty much facts. Unbelievable. Let's get back into the interview.
Why will I never apologize? Why will I never do that? When you're dealing with Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, Josh Hammer, these guys are gangsters. They're crooks. These guys are liars, and they are never operating in good faith. You think they're looking for a sincere apology? They're not. They are looking for submission. They are looking for humiliation. Shapiro and the ADL and Mark Levin put the screws in anybody that is critical or contrary to the Jews in Israel. They destroy your reputation. They lie about you. They make things up. They try to hurt your career any way they can. And they do this not because they want you to see it their way, not because they want a sincere apology. They want you to bow down. They want you to submit and surrender. They want you to acknowledge that they are in charge of you. They are our moral betters. They are the boss, and we are supposed to defer to them and kowtow and kiss the boot. That's what that's about. That's what they did to Kyrie Irving. That's what they did to Ye. That's what they did to Mel Gibson. That's what they do to everybody. Give us $1 million to the ADL, and we want an apology and a book report from the Holocaust Museum. This is why I will never apologize. This is why you should never apologize. Because these people hate you. They hate you. They don't care about your well-being. And they're not looking for an apology. They're looking for submission. And I will not give that to them. I would rather die.
So in closing today, guys, Nick Fuentes is only proving his momentum is unstoppable. As far as I'm concerned, we're looking at the future of social media and a very powerful voice. I'm not sure what to think necessarily on most of his rhetoric. Some of it I'm completely against. But some of it makes so much sense to me, even I have to shake my tail. I'm like, yeah, Nick, you got it, boy. You get it. Get it, player. Boom. You the man. But right now, the way politics are going, with this nastiness we always watch, and people running in circles, jerking us the whole time, it's getting old. It's getting lame. And I can see why Nick Fuentes is the steam locomotive for the youth. The kid is a baller. He's a boss. He's fearless. And I think Nick Fuentes has a bright future ahead of him, unless he's taken out.
He said, Ben Shapiro, the more they talk about Nick Fuentes, the more they raise his profile. Nick Fuentes, if I'm his agent, I would say, Nick, phenomenal. Your #1 PR rep this week was Ben Shapiro. Send them a $10 GoFundMe and congratulate him, saying thank you for supporting the cause and raising awareness to who I am.
And these are the reasons why people like me, and I'm assuming people like you, don't trust people like this, fueling me and igniting me to dive down rabbit holes, to turn stones over in speculation of the truth. And I will find the truth. I'm your boy, Bear Jags. Hit that like and subscribe button for more exciting content just like this. And until the next one, peace out.